Oh, space travel makes me tired. I'm pooped. Yes, I suppose I should get to cryo sleep as well. Good Lord, what is that over there? The mining vessel Borealis. The mining vessel Borealis. At this time of year, at this time of day, in this part of the galaxy, localized entirely on this weird alien planet. Yes. May I see what's going on? No. Long distance, I gave you my heart, and very next day, Anthony Ramos goes away to find Naomi Scott, far away, who wouldn't travel far to see Miss Naomi Scott. Who would not go the goddamn distance? Who would not go for speed? Who would not go all over a planet in her time of need? I'm just going to sing quite a bit of this because really there isn't a lot to go with the movie Long Distance. It actually was originally called Distant. I'm going to give you an idea of what this movie went through just to get to Hulu. It basically was filmed, like, I guess, back in early 2020, and then pandemic, that kind of stuff. It just sat on the shelf for a while. It was supposed to come out sometime in spring of 2022, and then got delayed to later that year, and then got delayed to 2023, and then got delayed, and delayed, and delayed, and then dropped on Hulu recently, and you can see why when you watch this. Anthony Ramos, Naomi Scott. Anthony Ramos is at least named Andy. Ooh, Andy! So, okay, that's a bit different than Anthony, but they called Naomi Scott Naomi, because I guess they didn't trust her to care enough to remember another name. And also, you have the big redheaded bearded guy from Game of Thrones, Christopher, whatever the hell his last name is. He plays Dwayne. The Dwayne. Then you have Zachary Quinto as an AI program thing named Leonard. And this is from the people that did Blades of Glory, The Switch, as well as Lyle Lyle Crocodile. The thing that explained why this movie is so goddamn shit and why I fucking hated pretty much everything about it is it was from the guy that wrote Moonfall and Tarot. The guy that got paid to write And Looting Continues as Mounting Moon Terror continues to grip the city. Tarot, also. Tarot. This movie's not good. Basically, you have Andy, who's in cryo sleep. He sees visions of his family dancing in his head. And then a meteor shower, basically a bunch of moon rocks. Moon rocks, oh wow, end up hitting this ship. And Zachary Quinto's Leonard gives him a weird nanite suit thing with oxygen that ends up getting depleted after Andy decides to be an idiot. And they crash land on a weird planet that is not basically habitable by humans. There are some weird creatures there that really, honest to God, looked like a mixture of the Cloverfield monster if the Cloverfield monster was made by a sea cucumber. And yeah, once again, you can see why this film was delayed for so goddamn long. If I'm spoiling any of this, I don't care, because this movie is, quite frankly, worth spoiling so you don't waste your damn time on it. Is it the worst thing I've seen this year? No. Is it one of the most painfully generic things I've seen this year? Yes. It feels like a movie that came out about 15 years ago, but it was just shoved out here, and that's even saying something. I'll still take this over Interstellar, because at least this movie ended before, oh, I don't know, the Book of Exodus, and Jesus Christ. Interstellar, I may have to retro-review that and just see if I actually hated it as much as I remember. Because it was so well made from a technical standpoint with a great cast. But my God, I didn't give a shit about that guy's family. Let's get back to Long Distance. A.K.A. Distant, A.K.A. they should have thrown this into the goddamn distance and forgotten about it. So, Andy basically has to go find Naomi Scott and fight these creatures, and that's pretty much your movie right there. Like, really, that's it. Fun little fact, even though I don't really care if it's a spoiler, Naomi Scott does not actually show up on screen until 52 minutes into the movie. This movie is 87 minutes long, with like 7 minutes of end credits. That means you only get to see her for about, 28 minutes. Disappointed. I would go to the ends of the earth for a woman like Naomi Scott, and I don't know who wouldn't. But yeah, this movie doesn't really end up being anything more than an amalgamation of a bunch of sci-fi elements that are inoffensive on the surface and really inoffensive overall. It's just very generic, and also decides to have a needle drop of a Ja Rule song that I didn't expect. But yeah, I'm going to get into spoilers, even though I've spoiled quite a bit of that thing already. But it's on Hulu if you want to check it out and torture yourself and hate yourself like I do. But I'll watch more movies because it's fun. Spoilers. There we go. Andy lost his wife and child when they were in a car wreck. Basically, the truck came with the blinders and stuff like that. And that's why he has video of his family to remind him of, happier times. He blames himself for it. Also, once he crash lands, he ends up gutting some of his suit, and his oxygen levels get depleted. He uses a sealant, but now he's got like 42% oxygen. Then Zachary Quinto's voice keeps popping up in his head because, that's what this world cries out for, is more Zachary fucking Quinto. The guy that was in American Horror Story Asylum and Heroes and was Spock in the most recent Star Trek movies. Really wish that they had continued to do those, but it was going to be difficult with some of the cast, unfortunately, meeting an unfortunate end. And also the fact that, let's be honest, the third one was kind of absolutely shit. So, what did the stars do to deserve this is what I noted. Did the filmmakers or the studio have some kind of dirt on them? So, you had a Capri Sun thing of Sunny D for some reason, because I guess it couldn't get a sponsorship with Tang. I love Tang. And Dwayne, the red-bearded guy from Game of Thrones. Dwayne doesn't die. Dwayne ends up dying, by the way. Not that it really matters. He does show Andy Anthony Ramos how to send a goddamn message, which he does. The thing is, though, the rescue crew probably isn't going to be there for 18 months. So basically, they must find the Borealis, the vessel Borealis, and find a way to survive because there are weird creatures here, like the aforementioned Cloverfield spider things. So once Naomi makes contact with him, basically he goes on a mission to find her. Again, I would go to the ends of the earth for Miss Naomi Scott too. Have you seen her? Have you heard her talk? And you would go to the ends of the earth for a beauty like that. She also had relationship issues, well, in the sense that she saw the warning signs, but didn't really want to see the warning signs, and they blew up in her face as her boyfriend left her. I'm sorry. You are stupid if you leave Naomi Scott. But, yeah, there are pods that are all around, but these pods, unfortunately, are going to be consumed, or at least the contents are going to be consumed by the Cloverfield spider things. Oh, yes, and there's also some weird spider hole things, because there are these weird mighty moonworms. One that tries to swallow Andy later. There's a callback to a defib machine that was almost used when Leonard thought that he was panicking, and Leonard needs to be rebooted and reset because the key's malfunctioning. But he wanted to use a defib thing, and then Andy got him to use a defib machine when he got swallowed up by the mighty moonworm, and he got shocked out. And Naomi was all freaked out. Naomi cannot leave her pod, by the way, and get him because her leg is pinned down. That's kind of important. And his, oxygen depleting, he's almost there. And then he finds her. And then she has enough oxygen for both of them so they can tether together and share 60% oxygen. As long as they don't panic, they can make it to the Borealis and be safe. Since they're tethered, they also are going to have to fight some of these creatures. There was a little bit of an earlier thing where these creatures wouldn't go in this one area because of these weird purple firefly things that turn red when you piss them off and they try to attack. Like fucking hornets. Mighty space hornets. And so, yeah, 52 minutes in, we finally see her. He frees her leg. They're tethered with O2. They get to the ship. One of the creatures gets cut in half. We get a pretty good look at the Cloverfield spider creature that looks ridiculous, by the way. And there are creatures on the ship, too. There's actually one. They must find a way to kill this creature. Like their Oded Fair, giving out instructions in The Mummy. And they share their stuff. His family died in a car wreck. He blames himself. Her relationship ended. She blames herself. She ran away to save her life. Ran away into the space unknown to survive. I know it doesn't work, but whatever. So they're going to use this pod to flatten this whole, to flatten this creature. The problem is because the power issues, or the power being reset, it's going to take a bit. And this creature's attracted to bright lights. Naomi is using these bright lights, and Naomi is like, okay, we're almost there. Whoa. Ramos on a prayer. Ramos realizes, oh shit, I'm going to have to be tethered to this thing. Use Leonard's tethering to, hook up to the pod, power it, and fall down and basically die. Even though he's only going to fall maybe 50 feet onto this spider that probably will cushion him, he's going to die. And he must die so she can live, but then she revives him. And yeah, they got 18 months to bang. I'd be lucky to last 5 minutes. But the little jingle that they played every time Leonard logged on was Mesmerized by Ja Rule and Ashanti. If you remember that song, you are probably old enough to watch this. God damn it. Jesus Christ. This movie deserved to stay distant. Stay distant away from long distance. This is really, really boring. I mean, I tried to make it sound more interesting than it was. So, agree, disagree, what I said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter, Letterboxd, Blue Sky handles in the description. I'm John Rickland, and until we meet again, happy trails to you.